Hello everybody, today I'm just going to share with you an altered paper bag I've made. I was inspired to make this from a video I watched this morning from Practice Makes Pretty, and I think the lady's name is Denise. She was sharing a bag she'd made that had a gusset on the side, and I thought I might like to try it, so I thought I would decorate a bag to put my journal page in for Irene, and it does fit in there perfectly. I also wanted to take this opportunity to mention a couple of things about the journal that I completely forgot to say in the video yesterday, and it was not intentional in any way. I just simply forgot. And what I forgot was to mention these little sewing strips, and that was an idea I got from Bonnie, who is Bonnie and Clive on YouTube, and she makes little stitching strips and she uses them like page band-aids. She does a little zigzag on them, cuts them into strips, and if she has a little tear in her page, she'll put it on there and it looks really cute, and they're called page band-aids. I just went a little bit further with mine. I like the idea. I got an A4 sheet of paper, I folded it in half, and then what I did was just did a few different stitches all along the page and then cut them up. And what I can do is, if I want just a fancy little stitch on something that might not be stitchable, I can just cut strips off and put it on. So that's where I got that idea from. I'm sorry about that, Bonnie. I know she probably hasn't even watched the video yet, but I thought about it this morning. I thought, oh, I completely forgot to mention that. I also completely forgot to mention the stitching, the bobbin work that I did on this. And that was, I was inspired by Ruby, who is Little Books, and she does the bobbin work like this, and that's when you wind the embroidery thread onto the bobbin instead of another cotton, and you do it quite loosely and it comes out loosely like that. I did mine also, I wound it on like the normal way of winding a bobbin on, so it was on there tighter, and this is the effect you get for that. Now, bobbin work is used a lot in quilting as well, and you can use it with fibres, with embroidery thread, and with ribbons, and so I forgot to mention that yesterday. This was inspired by Ruby, so thank you for that, Ruby. I will put both Bonnie and Ruby's link to their channel in the description box below. I will also put Denise's Practice Makes Pretty link in the description box below also. Now, this bag is completely over the top, I think. I love it. It's just a paper bag, and I will show you how I made that paper bag. She did explain it on her video. I will show you how I did mine very quickly at the end of this. I have some lace behind it. I have an large index card to hold it firm. I've decoupaged some more of this beautiful napkin on the background there. I've used touches of lace from Roseanne. Thank you, Roseanne. A dangle charm from Michelle. Thank you, Michelle. I've used beautiful vintage flowers on it, which are these ones, and also these lovely ones here as well. I've used a postcard image, a little bit of tatting, some cheesecloth, music paper, lots of sari silk, more flowers, a doily, beautiful mother of pearl buttons. Look at that one. Can you see that? It's got a tiny little lace edge effect to it. I love it. What else do we have? Some fibres. We have some paper doilies. We have ruffled lace down the bottom and ruffled fabric. And it's just got 2 holes punched in the top there with some sari silk to tie it. That little dangle will come off. It's on a bulb pin behind the flower there. And so that is my lovely little decorated bag. I may put something like Irene's name or something there. I don't know. It looks a little bit plain compared to the rest of it, but I don't know. Thoroughly enjoyed making that. It's also got tulle. I basically used everything that was still on my desk and still is from making the journal page. So they go together quite nicely, I think. So there we go. I hope you enjoy the quick how-to on how I made my little sandwich bag with the gusset, and that was following Denise's instructions. So take care, everybody. Bye. Make a bag to put the page in. I was watching a video this morning. Practice Makes Pretty did a lovely bag up, and I liked the way she made her bag. Now this is just a brown sandwich bag. It's a flat bag. There's no gusset or anything like that. And she suggested changing it into a gusseted bag, and that's what I want to do. I want to be able to fit my journal page into it. So I kind of just going to go like that. And my journal page, remember, is a folded A4 sheet. Now I'm just going to fold that down the side. That's probably about an inch. Yeah, just short of an inch. I'm going to do it folding it one way and then fold it back the other way also. And do the same thing on the other side. Now I have to be careful because that's where my seam is. So I want to make sure I take that into account when I'm folding it. So I want it just on this side of the seam so the seam doesn't pop up. I could glue that down if I wanted to as well. But I'm just going to make sure I don't fold it in the wrong spot. A lot of bags have the seam in the center, which works really well. Okay, now I'm not sure exactly how she did hers, but this is how I'm doing mine. I just fold it like that and fold it like that, and then you can basically just pop it in. The only tricky part, I think, is right at the bottom corner here. Kind of want to open that up and gently push that corner in so it's nice and flat, but keep your crease line nice and flat, and then get yourself perhaps a bone folder. Find where I put mine. Where did I put it? Something that has a nice corner on it but that's not too sharp, so that you can just carefully pop that corner in like that, and then you can smooth it out so it's nice, and that way you get a really nice gusseted side bag. And I'm going to go ahead and do exactly the same thing for this side here. Alright, so both of our corners are done now. First of all, I'm going to make sure my whatever I'm putting in it fits, because we want to make sure it fits the item that we're packaging, and that just fits nicely. Now there's not much room for fold over at the top, so what I will do, I will either put a stick pin across the top there, or I will thread some ribbon or something. I haven't quite decided, but something strong enough to hold it. That's what I'll put in there. So